That was crazy. Hey. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I thought I turned it off, but they still have it where you have to let people in from the waiting room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yesterday was a bit of a doozy, but it finished out pretty good today. Now I woke up around like, I don't even know, man. I woke up at like 7:30.
Right.
And I love waking up early because I get to enjoy the whole day instead of just like 5 or 6 hours. And, it makes me tired at the end of the day, so I'm able to get a good night's rest, you know?
Yeah.
So hopefully you have your phone. I'm setting up the Instagram chat now, and then we can jump right in. Do you have I usually, it's been different with every guest. It just depends. But I usually try to go a 20 to 30 minute minimum, but I like to be respectful of people's time. So whatever time you have until, we can either go up to if we, have things to converse about. Otherwise, we can, cap it at 20, 30 minutes. What's a good measure of thumb is my Zoom chats only last 40 minutes. Now, when I'm having a good chat, we'll exit and I'll send out another link. But we can just play it by ear if that's okay.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So I think I don't know if we're friends on Facebook or not Facebook, Instagram.
So Facebook Live doesn't work?
It does, but the thing with Facebook Live, I don't know how to get it to see both of us.
Okay.
So Facebook Live would only show me.
All right, let me see. So we need to go on the Instagram.
Yeah, and then you could find me at Y_A brother J, Y_brother_J. And
wait a second. So do I need to go to the search? So go Y
A
underscore.
Yes, ma'am.
YA underscore what?
Brother_J, just the letter J.
Brother underscore
Take your time.
J. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oops. And then when you add me, what it should do is give you a,
Yeah, I see you're live.
yeah, so you'll just tap on my face. Do is give you a,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I see and so what we'll do is you can go ahead and mute, or not mute, but turn it down on Instagram so that we hear the audio and there's no
Gotcha.
overlap. Now, when you join, there should have been a thing that said request to join, something of that nature.
I just hit follow, and then I just hit the live button.
Okay, right. So we're in there, but you're not live with me as of yet because like I said, you're live, you're in the room,
but we can't see each other.
Right. So as soon as when you signed in, it should have said request to join. There should be an option like in the chat bars. I'm trying to see if I can find you. Because what I might need to do is go out and then add you.
Oh, wait. Okay. I went back out. Now I'm on. I see you. So now I hit following, and now what do I do?
So when you come into the room, it should say, Adrienne Reedy entered, and there should be a choice that says request to join. You don't see that?
When I came in, I was just in the room. I'll hit it again. See, I'm just in the room.
Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end the live right quick, and then so follow the same thing we just did. Because I think what it is, maybe okay, so you have a private page, I think, on there.
Oh, I do? Yeah,
because it said requested. So you have to go to your Instagram and then hit accept as friends. There's always, the thing that's cool is I'm learning how to do all of this. It's like I started this 2 weeks ago. I'm already 14 episodes in, and I have guest book until August. So but with that, I'm not a technical person. You know what I'm saying?
But you're becoming. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm following you. Now What do I do?
So you should go back to your main page where your little circle is to your profile.
Now I see you.
Yeah, and then hit accept. And then now when you came in,
I don't see anything that says accept.
Okay. Right.
I mean, I accepted you as a friend, and now I'm in.
Okay.
The room again.
Right.
Oh, okay, here it is. Your brother wants you to be in this live video. Go live. Okay. Okay.
Slowly but surely, we getting there.
But then it said that send it again, because it said the request, maybe I didn't hit it fast enough.
Okay. Well, it says invited. So let me see. You said I'll send it again. I wonder why it's not popping, because usually anytime you join someone's live, there's a thing that says request to join.
It said request to join. I hit it, but then as I was hitting it, it went away and it said invitation, that I took too long to respond.
Okay. All right. Third time's a charm. I'm gonna end this live again, and then we'll go right back in. So how's your week going? What are we at? Thursday? How's your week been?
Good. It's just been really busy, Okay, wait a second. Okay, so it ended.
Yeah, so I just went live again. Falling.
Now,
so you'll just click on my face.
See a black screen. Is that your computer screen?
No, you're not in the live chat right now.
Oh, I'm not.
On Instagram. Yeah, I had to close it because
Lord.
Because since we didn't connect at the right time.
All right, now I am. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Now, if you send me that thing again, I'll hit it fast.
Yeah. See, I don't know what the issue is. They, for some reason, like when you first came in, it made the invite. See, the invite's kind of like dark blue, and so when it's dark blue, it's not letting me send you that request. So, I don't know why.
So do I need to go out and come back in?
Yeah, go out and come back in one last time, and if this doesn't work, we'll just go ahead and I'll do like I did the other day, and I'll just
All right, let me see.
we'll just stick with the thing.
Now, how do I go out? Just, okay. Am I out?
No, stay in. Don't go nowhere because all right. Now you should have received the invite.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted me to go out. It says I joined.
Okay, are you still in there?
Yeah, I'm in.
And you don't see any question asking you to accept the invite? Because I sent you the invite on Instagram. All you should have to do is hit accept.
Let me see.
You might have to scroll back up in the chat. You just use your thumb and scroll up because the invite could have maybe went past your screen potentially. Okay.
I don't, okay.
I just sent it again.
Yeah, I did it. Oh, it said the invitation expired.
It said that again?
I don't understand why it's saying it expired. I mean, I hit it.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. We can make do. Because on my end it's showing you have sent invite, and then it's giving me an option to cancel. It says suggested, right here, and then it says, invite sent. But if it's not giving you an option to say yes, or if it keeps telling you
that it did, and I clicked on it, and then it, oh wait, what is that? I must not be, oh, that's you. Okay. Do you see me?
Not on Instagram, because you have to accept the invite to go live with me. Just because you're in the room doesn't mean you're visually on there with me. But it's all good. We'll just we'll keep it going from there. Like I said, we have Zoom and
But it says that Adrienne Reedy joined. I see on the bottom it says that I joined.
Right, you joined the chat room. You joined the live, but as far as being a guest, and when you would click accept on that invite, if it didn't keep on saying expire, then your picture would come up and on the
now
bottom.
I see my picture on what? Is that your screen?
Well, that's because I'm holding the phone.
Oh.
At the screen.
Oh God.
Yeah, because I don't want to just hold it at myself while I'm talking with you. But Adrienne Reedy, welcome to the RPR podcast, the fledgling podcast hosted by Jason Andrew Corgan, myself, your brother Jay, and Jay classified with 2 Z's because musically they're sleeping on me like a mattress. Welcome. The first thing that I like to do is ask you who you are, right? What is it that you do in terms of maybe purpose, calling, vocation, whatever, however much or however little you would like to share. And then we also like to serve a slice of humble pie with the first question and say your strengths and your weaknesses. And my personal favorite is I always like to know everyone's superpower that they possess. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so hey Jason.
Hey.
So I think you heard this before, but for the guests or for those who would listen, I would say, I'm a wife, been married now for 33 years to Steve. I have 3 wonderful, I'm a mom, so I have 3 wonderful sons, Terrence, Calvin, and Quinn. I always like to say that. I'm a sister. I have some siblings. I used to have 9 siblings, but I'm down to how many do we have now? I don't know. 5. I think I have five siblings now, or
Okay.
6. And then, you know, in terms of my vocation, I'm an artist. I'm a singer, songwriter, storyteller. I do pastels. I'm a pastelist. I do watercolor.
Okay.
And I am also a gospel artist. Been singing all my life. My strengths, I would say I am a person who, once I set my mind to do something, it's going to happen.
Yes.
It is really going to happen. And then my weaknesses is, once I set my mind to do something, it's going to happen. So
it's the catch-22.
it truly is a catch-22, because nothing will stop me. And so that can be a bit overwhelming for those who may be around me. And then my superpowers is I have an amazing constitution when it comes to faith. And I think it almost becomes, unstoppable.
Yeah. To give context to, I'm sure I could google.com that, but to give context what you mean, to simplify for those that may not know, what does that mean to you to have a constitution in regards to your faith? What does that mean to you? If you could elaborate on
that. What it means to me is that I feel that I have a gift where I believe in what I'm capable of doing. I believe that. And even if people partner with me and ask me to pray with them or for them, things really happen. And, it's not that I have superpowers. The superpower that I feel that I have is the gift that has been given to me to be able to believe in the God who's over it all, to believe that what he says he's going to do, he will do.
Yeah.
And that is an unbelievable gift.
Yeah.
And I used to think that everybody had that, but they don't.
Yeah.
So, right now I have an adopted daughter who's dealing with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so sure that she's going to be just fine. She's going to come through this just fine. And so far, she is doing so well that it's even blowing the doctor's mind.
Nice.
So does that make sense?
That makes wonderful sense. I think, when you started elaborating, and you said, I think that I thought everybody had that, I think scripturally it says, and he's given a measure of faith to all, we all have different measures of faith. And I think this was in terms of the eating, right? The eating of certain foods, but I think it's applicable across all boards, where he says, when the brother of weaker faith that can't consume everything, but you're a brother of the stronger faith and you can consume everything. You can believe that your auntie died and you'll go walk up to the casket, put some anointing oil on your finger and say, raise, and she will get up.
And
But the other person can't even believe that their financial needs will be met.
Right.
So I think that is very, very pertinent and very powerful. It is something, it says, and he ascended on high. And what does that mean? Even more so that he descended, and when he ascended, he left gifts behind. So
that's right.
I mean, I sometimes, not to be blasphemous, but I picture like Santa Claus, right? Or like a Jesus going in the sky, and just like Santa Claus throwing, gifts into what do you call them? Smoke chimneys, But instead of dropping them into houses, he dropped them into sacred temples, aka our bodies.
Right.
And we have gifts. Now, not everyone has been snatched out of the dominion of darkness, right? See, people say, we're all God's children, but scripturally, we are not all God's children. I think we are all God's creation, but there's people that are still in the ways of this world, haven't came to know knowledge of Christ, and are still, it says the enemy lies, right? And his children are deceived and walking that. So, but not to get into all that, I say all that to say a song that came to mind while you were talking was it's a Tone song. He's like a smooth R&B gospel dude. And the song, he goes, God is not forgot. God is not forgot. If he said that he would do it, it will come to pass. So God is not forgot about you. No, God is. And I'm like, and then he goes even higher. They start hitting the organs. It's like, don't get discouraged. And I'm like, yes, brother Tone, like just speaking truths,
Right.
one of the most beautiful worship songs, not just one song, but are things that are derived from the songs. I think there is something key to sing a new song unto the Lord. Every day the Lord places a song of praise upon our lips. So we don't have to emulate everything that David said in the Psalms, but from David's experience as a human being, he wasn't afraid to say, I don't get it. I'm confused. God, I'm angry. God, I screwed up with Bathsheba. And God said he was a man after my own heart. But I don't know if he had concubines or numerous wives and slept with Bathsheba, then got her husband murdered, and to cover it up. Like, once you fall in disobedience or start to sin, you try to put out the fires and cover it up. And that's just a snowball effect. So I want to go to this painting behind you. Is this one of your pieces, or where is that from? The one?
No, this is, gosh, I forget, of course. It's one of the pieces. I have a son who's really into the art world. Gosh, I can't even remember. I know it's Romero. I can't remember his name, but it's a beautiful piece that my son talked us into purchasing.
He talked you into it.
Because I have a son, and he's really, really, really into the arts, and he works with some of the top artists in the world, and he has an eye, and he's a collector, and he makes me laugh because he's younger and he's hipper when it comes to this kind of art. And so
yeah,
he's like, you guys need to invest in some art. So this was a piece we got, and it was just a very cool piece.
Yeah, I like it. Now, staying in that vein, I do this often when I have MCs or poets or even singer-songwriters on. I know that when you were telling me all of your things, all of the stuff, right, that you do and things that you identify with, I wanted to say, so basically you're a Renaissance woman is what you're saying.
That's what they call me.
Absolutely. I believe it because it's the truth.
That's what they call me. I'm a Renaissance woman.
So my question to you is, and I don't think it's semantics. I think there's two sides to it. So, and you could go one. So we'll go inspiration first. But the combination of the question is, who are some of your inspirations that inspired you to pick up the paintbrush, the easel, and the canvas, right? Whether it be watercolors, whether it be pastel, whether it be what's the one that I've been using to paint with? Acrylic paint, so many different kinds. And it could be I would like to have 2 or 3 or as many as you want, whether it be a person, whether it be a noun, a person, place, or thing that inspires you. And then I want you to follow up. I'm not going to come back in. I'm going to let you kind of prolong into that. What are some of your influences, right? So inspire is to pick up the paintbrush. To influence is the way you make your brush strokes, So yeah. That's the next question I'd like to hear from you.
Well, for me, this is I find this art thing fascinating because, Jason, I've always liked art. I love Impressionist painting and have been one who would frequently visit museums, and I really enjoy art. But I was never a visual artist until December of 2018. my husband put some pastels in my Christmas stocking.
Uh-oh, he done messed up.
And I still, to this day, I just say, why did you do that? Like, what were you thinking? And pastels, I always tell people that art found me.
Mm.
And these pastels showed up in my stocking. I had a gift box with a bunch of papers, and that was just like a little last minute idea that he had to just get me these. And I don't know why he did. He gave me earth tones, he gave me grays, and he
Ooh.
gave me some, just bold colors in these pastels. There's 3 different packs.
Yeah.
And Christmas Day or the next day, I went on YouTube and I just looked at, how to do some pastels, and I was hooked. And I honestly feel like my inspiration was the fact that these things showed up, that there had to be a reason why they showed up.
Mm.
And I got inspired because I felt like that this was a gift, and the gift was bigger than what I imagined.
Yeah.
And so I had to seek it out and try to figure why, God, of all the things that was going to show up in my Christmas stocking, why were they pastels?
Mm.
And so I got really inspired, and I figured, well, the least I can do is try them. And so I did. I fell in love with them. And then I was like inspired. I just was like a sponge, and I just started painting maybe 3 to 4 paintings a day.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love, literally fell in love with them. And I started posting them on Facebook, and people were loving them. People were buying them. And I was like, okay, well, this is strange.
Mm.
And one thing led to another. So what inspires me in that is just the fact that I could take something, get something in 2018, and then produce, some artwork that's pretty nice enough where people want to buy them. And then I just started getting involved with just recently with watercolor. And
Yeah.
so my inspiration was just the fact of being able to learn something new and just make it happen.
Right.
And then the other thing was inspired to just get better and better at it, because I felt like it was speaking to me in a way that it was almost like coming full circle for
Yeah.
me. Like
Yeah.
I was a musician, I was a singer, you know, and then writing songs and, recording artist. And then to have this, I felt like, wow, this was just something that it just all worked together.
Yeah.
And now it really works together because I do workshops and, I incorporate my music with the art, and it's just been an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
Totally unexpected.
Mm.
Totally unexpected.
Yeah.
So that's my inspiration. And that was, what was the other thing you said? My inspiration and
influences.
And my influence was the fact that I realized that my artwork literally spoke to people, and it made people smile. It made people happy. I remember one time I saw a friend, like, actually, it wasn't even my friend. He was a friend of my, one of my brothers or my sister, a guy who we grew up in the same neighborhood, in the same town. And I saw he was like grieving because his dog was dying. And so he had this beautiful picture of his dog. And so I drew it, I whipped it up, and then one of my best friends lived near this guy. And I said, would you do me a favor? I matted it, I framed it, and I sent it to her. I said, would you drop it off to his house? Because, I want to make him happy.
Mm.
I sent it, and like, he was so overwhelmed with the fact that I would do something like that. And he was so happy, and he just sent me this beautiful card, and he sent me like a lot of money. And I was like, it wasn't the money, but it was the fact that my work was able to move him
Yeah.
to respond that way. And his thing was like, I can't believe that you thought about me to do what you just did. This was the best gift anyone could have ever given me. And so I would do things like that. And I felt like, that was my influence. I realized that I had influence in being able to do something to get a response from someone that was, in most cases, it was a joyful response.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I think about the cliche term that says a picture is worth 1,000 words.
1,000 words.
And I think even more so, art. Art
Yeah.
communicates something.
Really does.
So powerful that we have no idea about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead.
So for me, that's like, I always feel like when I'm doing art, if what I have this opportunity to capture a moment, and it's usually for me because of the things that I like to paint. I mean, I do like to do portraits. I like to do animals, but I love to do like landscape and flowers and birds and
I think
just beautiful sunsets. And
I was gonna say, I think I've seen some of your sunsets before.
Yeah.
Now, so I want to jump into this real quick. We've got about 9 minutes. I don't know, how are you feeling? Are you ready to wrap it up after 9, or how do you feel for the rest of this?
It's up to you. I blocked it off, so
okay.
I'm here.
So when we lose this, I'll create another room and we'll hop right back on.
Okay.
So I've seen the sunsets, and I want to briefly touch on, Convergence Church, or also, I guess, like AKA Verge Now. That's more so like the Instagram and social handle. We both belong to that community of Christian creatives. It's based out of Virginia. Physically, they recently actually sold off the property that they own. Something very special and amazing is happening. I think this Sunday you are going through an ordination process. The way I met you was in something that we do at Convergence called Spiritual Online Collectives, or SOC, which is a weekly gathering of 6 weeks where we all try to stay on the same content outside of our regular spiritual disciplines. There would be audio visuals, or there would be an app called Lectio Divina 365. We would come together and there would be 4 different questions. What is God saying to you in this? What are you going to do about it? Which I like, because that's like right up in your grill. That's like, right. Are you a hearer of the word only, or are you going to be a doer of the word? Because if you ain't doing what it do, you're deceiving yourself.
Right.
And it's just foolish to deceive yourself, because you think about how rotten deception is when people are out here deceiving people. It's like, you're supposed to love yourself. You want to do that to yourself, Right. So go ahead and touch on that. I know that I just covered a broad range. I just wanted to give some love to our sister Lisa, and then also Dan and everybody else there, that they've been cultivating and facilitating this fellowship that is really a beautiful space. I just want to give you some time to just share your heart about that. I'm actually leading an SOC on Fridays now at noon. And sometimes on Sundays, we have something called Creative Prayer where we get together. I led something where I shared my creative process, and we all did poems, which yours was amazing, by the way. And I don't know if you finished it yet. I know you said like, yo, this ain't complete. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so just give me some of your thoughts on that, and really what that community has meant, for you and your walk with the Lord, if you would.
Yeah, for a while, several years now, I grew up in a Black Baptist church, and then when I went out on my own, I just kind of belonged to, several different types of faith communities that were not as as hip as what I grew up in, but it was different. It gave me a different perspective in how to worship. So I feel like I've been gifted with, I know how to worship in loud, and I know how to worship in silence. And there are times in my life where I really enjoyed the contemplative type of worship style. My soul becomes restored and it refreshed in the contemplative approach to worship. And so I love the spiritual collective. I love Convergence because they really, practice the presence of God in all things. Like I worship every day, all throughout the day. I don't need to be in a service at church to worship. I don't need to have the gospel choir singing and the Hammond B pumping up. I don't need, I can roll with that anytime and I enjoy it, but I can worship while I'm doing laundry. I can worship while I'm taking a walk on the Norwalk River Trail that's right around the corner from my house. I could worship while I'm doing ironing, so I could practice. So I love that. And Convergence is a place that really, really helps to help have people develop the interior. And that's what I love about the spiritual collective, because with the spiritual collective, we were learning how to listen to God with and for, not for in terms of offering advice or telling people what they should and shouldn't be doing, but I love the collectives because it allows people to come together and hear the voice of God with and for one another.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I love using the art, like artwork to do that too. So I love Convergence because I feel like I'm around like-minded individuals,
right,
who can come together and see the beauty and hear the voice of God. If I put up a picture of a sunset, we can go together and literally hear and see God in that.
yeah.
Jason, last week I did when we come back on, I'm going to get my icon. I did this unbelievable retreat where for a week, well, 6 days actually, where I did this retreat where I was learning about writing in terms of iconology and iconography.
Okay.
And I thought I was writing icons before, where I've had a very spiritual encounter when I was just doing a piece on my own. But last week I was in this class, intensive class, where I was writing an icon, and it was very, very disciplined. It was very strict. It was very, like you got to do it this way. And that I don't usually operate. I love the freedom to be able to do this art. And I think that's why I love pastels so much, because the lines are blurred. And with the blurry lines, you can still figure out what's going on and make it really beautiful without these very fine detailed lines. Although there are fine lines in it. But anyway, I love the freedom of pastels because it's just very free flowing. And so doing my own icons are free flowing, but I went to a retreat to really learn how to write an icon. And at first I was really grappling with this idea that, oh my gosh, this is not fun. But then I understood the discipline of it made it so much fun. When we come back, I want to show you what I did.
With that, I think I have an idea, but could you break down what that means, iconography, and the other one for people who may not be familiar with that terminology?
Yeah. Now we have less than a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'm gonna clip the recording. I'm gonna end the meeting, and then we'll still be live on Instagram. So I'm not gonna stop that, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
We're gonna take a brief intermission.
Yeah.